Speaking about having the opportunity to go to summer camp, without question, I had the opportunity to go to that summer camp with my brother through the help of someone. We were raised in a single family household, and I know without question that somebody came alongside my mom and sponsored us to go to camp. And I'll never forget it. It's just a tremendous experience. So fast forward to about 12 years ago, when asked for that opportunity to serve on the golf committee to help raise funds for scholarships for kids to go to camp. I mean, how could I say no? So I jumped all over it. And with that history and what I know about camp, I got involved. And getting involved in Camp Greenville, that led to serving on the advisory board for Camp Greenville, which then in turn led for me serving on the Metro board for the YMCA, which I've done for 10 plus years, and just had the opportunity to learn so much about really what the YMCA is all about. And based on that knowledge and what I know, it just fits perfectly for my family and our personal goals on how we want to support the community. And it just lined up perfect. Once I started to understand exactly everything that was involved with the YMCA of Greenville and the tremendous opportunity and the tremendous need that's out there, I started to realize, hey, I need to get more involved and I need to step my game up even further. It's just the alignment of the vision and mission of the YMCA and me personally. And that intersects with the history that I have and how I benefited from the same work that I'm now asked to do. It just made perfect sense for me to really step up my game, not only in my time and utilization of my talent, but also with my resources. The more opportunity that I had to serve, the more I learned. So as I went from one committee to the next committee, and then I'm asked to serve as the chairman of the Open Doors campaign, which is our annual campaign, then I start to really realize what all it takes to raise the amount of funds that we want and need to raise in our community. And although I know every single donation counts, every dollar counts, they're all critical, I realize that it takes more than just little base hits. I mean, we've got to hit some doubles and some triples and some home runs, and we've got to find a way to get some foundations and really some major donors to come alongside of us and understand our mission, understand our vision, and to begin to actually donate some funds where we need it. As I started to realize the need and I started to realize really how big it was, first thing I did was I looked in the mirror and I'm like, okay, what is it that I can do personally to really step up the game? And so I looked at my individual household, and then I looked at, well, how do I, make my individual household work? And that's through Allstate. And so I started looking at our foundation to say, hey, maybe there's an opportunity for our national foundation, which gives millions of dollars in communities all throughout the United States. They give millions of dollars away. I'm like, okay, how do they align with the mission and the pillars that really the YMCA of Greenville are working towards? And I immediately found youth development. And I'm like, hey, I've got two things that are lining up and I'm involved in both. I need to get to work and start asking. And so the first thing I did was go straight to our regional officer and saying, hey, I'm leading a local campaign here in Greenville. It's called the Open Doors Annual Campaign for the YMCA. We're raising scholarships. And the majority of our scholarship funding is going to go towards youth development. And I know that lines up with our foundation. Can you help me get a grant? And he immediately responded, yes, your timing is perfect. We're actually looking for a youth development organization. And I'm like, stop looking, it's right here. We have the best in the upstate of South Carolina, and our reach is further than just the upstate of South Carolina. It's through the entire state of South Carolina through our youth and government program. And so with a little dialogue and maybe a little nudging on my part, I was able to get the National Foundation of Allstate through our regional office to come alongside of us and support the YMCA. So I look at the National Foundation supporting us, and then I'm like, well, hey, every agent in the market has an opportunity to give a grant and to participate. And I know what our grant participation level is within the upstate of South Carolina. It's real low. And they keep asking us from a regional standpoint, we need to get that higher, we need to get that higher. So I asked the region to help me get the local agents involved. And through some nudging of the agents and through work with YMCA, with your help, Jamie, and help of others within YMCA, we put a program together to really help us do a large group grant that lines up with youth development, which lines up with our regional goals and the National Foundation goals. And we did a book drive, which included puzzles, crafts, games, to really help through our summer camp, after-school programs, and our youth programs. And we collected books, and on top of that, we all became eligible to give an individual grant. And so I had 23 agents come alongside me in addition to our national grant. And now we have a partnership in the community with the YMCA of Greenville to really help improve youth development in our community. And that is a perfect alignment for what Allstate wants to do and what the YMCA wants to do. I am a 5 a.m. YMCA member, and we work out, we run, we swim, we bike, all out of the YMCA. And on any given day, there can be all, which could be 40 plus men, or any combination down to just 2 of us. But we never show up where there's not one of us here. And so we're all dedicated Y members, and we're kind of crazy bunch. We're a fun bunch, but we're also a loving bunch of guys. And so about 3+ years ago, one of us, after a workout at the YMCA, he went down. Long story short, he had a brain tumor, and he's been battling cancer ever since. So it's amazing. We all rallied around him through his treatments, through working out with him at the Y, through going on runs when he didn't feel well, and it was all at the front door of the YMCA at Kane Halter. So he felt a need, as he's gone through various treatments and multiple surgeries, he's like, I want to challenge this group, let's do a marathon. And we're all like, Tommy, you don't have to prove anything. You're battling cancer. He's like, no, we're going to do it. And then several of us said, well, if we're going to do this, we should raise some money to do it. And instead of giving it to a national organization, let's raise money locally here, because this is where we are and where we live. And without hesitation, number one on the list was where we meet every day, the front steps of the YMCA. And with several of the guys that are in the 40 Men for Change movement that are involved in various advisory boards, on the Metro board, we quickly decided, let's support the YMCA and let's support Exercise as Medicine campaign. Because honestly, the best medicine we feel that Tommy has received as he's gone through his treatments is exercise, and relational exercise. As we're in a group, whether it's guys in the beast mode class, whether it's swimming in, with the swimming out in the pool, whatever it is, it's relational and it's exercise, and we know the benefits of it. We presented it to everybody, and there wasn't even hesitation. It was automatic because it was personal. And the YMCA is personal to everybody, and it's relational. And so we just felt like, let's do it. $75,000 plus later, we handed you a check that 40 of us came together to help with Exercise and Medicine, because it is personal and we know what it can do. And we felt like the most important thing was for us to come together as a group, because we're stronger in numbers. And when we have strength in numbers, we can raise the numbers, the money that's needed to have these kind of programs. And so honestly, although we kind of brought it to you, Jamie, y'all really brought it to us because you made us aware of information, you made us aware of what was going on, and you just basically went to a core group of membership already in your doors that were passionate about a program, and that's how we funded it. It's really an intersection of my history, my relationships, and my values, and they all line up with the values of the YMCA. And I've had the opportunity to see that the need is just more than a $100 donation. It's multiple $1,000 donations. And so by me knowing what's happening in my YMCA and the way that y'all communicate to us the different opportunities and the way you advertise or communicate the Open Doors and annual campaign, the way that goes about, it really not only opens doors, but it opens eyes. And when you open someone's eyes, you open their heart. And when you open their heart, you can open the resources to give to the Y. And so for me, that's really what happened to me, is that it took for my eyes to be open and for me to understand what's happening. And it touched my heart. And it really lined up with my soul, who I am. And so that's why every time you've asked, I've tried as hard as I can to give back. And it's just that important to me.